Today, I need to tell you something that can completely change the way you see your life. This is not about luck. It is not about human effort. It is about a supernatural move that God has already released over you. Maybe your family, your friends, or even you yourself doubt this right now. But there is a transfer of wealth and favor happening at this very moment, and you have been chosen to experience it. Yes, you are about to step into a new season where what once seemed impossible will begin to manifest before your very eyes. This video is not just another motivational message. It is a divine announcement that the time of abundance, favor, and transformation God prepared exclusively for you has arrived. Perhaps you look at your reality right now and think, but how can this be true for me? I don't have the resources, I don't have the right connections, and my life shows no signs of this abundance you're talking about. I understand that thought because many times we were taught to believe that everything depends on our effort, our work, and even on the people around us. But let me tell you something. When God decides to move, He does not need anyone's permission. He doesn't consult the opinion of relatives, neighbors, or bosses. He simply acts. And that is exactly what is happening right now. There is a supernatural transfer being released from heaven. Something that does not come from banks, does not come from human inheritances, and does not come from economic strategies. It is a divine movement planned by God to place in the hands of the chosen ones everything needed to fulfill a greater purpose. I know this may sound impossible, even strange, because we are used to thinking in a natural and limited way, based only on what our eyes can see. But the truth is that the spiritual always precedes the physical. What you are about to experience has already been written. It has already been decreed, and no closed door, no lack, and no opposing opinion can stop it. Pay attention. You are not watching this video by accident. This message is proof that God is calling you to something greater. He is taking you out of waiting, out of doubt, and out of stagnation, and leading you into a time of progress, harvest, and supernatural favor. Your life will never be the same, and the people around you will see it. Maybe they don't believe it now. Maybe they laugh or even criticize, but very soon, the very transformation of your life will be the undeniable testimony. Before we continue, take a moment now to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below saying, "I received this supernatural transfer." This helps this message reach even more people who also need to hear what God is doing. Now, imagine with me how your life would be if all of a sudden you no longer had to worry about the things that steal your peace today. Imagine waking up and realizing that doors that were once closed have simply begun to open. That debt that seemed impossible to resolve paid off. That opportunity that seemed distant, now within your reach. The people who once didn't believe in you becoming witnesses of how God turned your story around. Do you know why? Because when God decides to release supernatural favor, He doesn't just place resources in your hands. He also changes environments, connects you to the right people, and opens paths that once seemed unreachable. It is as if the entire heaven is moving in your direction to ensure you live out what was promised. And I need to be honest with you. This supernatural transfer is not just about money. It involves peace, purpose, restored relationships, and opportunities far beyond what money can buy. It is God rearranging the pieces of your life in a way you could never do on your own. Maybe you are asking, but why me? Why would I be chosen to experience this? The answer is simple. You did not arrive here by accident. Every struggle, every tear, every moment of waiting was preparing you for this time. You were set apart, marked, called to be a living testimony of God's faithfulness. And let me tell you, when this transformation begins to take place, it will not be quiet. The people around you will notice. Your family will look and won't believe what they are seeing. Those who doubted will have to recognize that it could only have been God's hand. You will carry such a strong mark of abundance and favor that no one will be able to deny it. Now picture yourself in this scene. You look back and realize the person you were no longer exists. That time of closed doors, scarcity and prayers that seemed unanswered is behind you. You are living a new chapter full of provision, favor and opportunities that simply begin to align before you. Imagine the feeling of being able to honor your family, of seeing dreams that once seemed shelved start to take shape, of entering spaces you once could only observe from afar. This is the mark of divine transformation. Supernatural transfer. It doesn't just change your bank account, it changes your identity in the eyes of others. What was once a source of shame, God transforms into a source of honor. And I want you to understand something very important. This is not a fairy tale. This is not an empty promise. This is the move of God. And when He decides to act, no economic crisis, no negative words, no human doubt can stop it. He has already decided on your behalf. What is about to happen in your life is so grand that even those who never believed in you will have to admit it was God who did this. They will look at your story and won't be able to explain it naturally. Your life will become a living testimony, a sign to everyone around you that heaven truly intervenes on earth. And do you know what is even more powerful? This transformation will not stop with you. It will reach your family, open paths for your children, and change entire generations. It is a harvest that overflows because what God is doing is far greater than your own dreams. Now, it is very important for you to understand this. What is happening does not depend on your strength, your resume, or how many hours you have worked or not worked. It is not about human strategies, contacts, or forced opportunities. This move is entirely about the mighty hand of God. Because if it depended on human effort, perhaps you would have already given up long ago. If it depended on logic, you wouldn't be here listening to this message. But God loves to use what seems improbable, precisely to show that He is the one who acts. Think with me. How many times have you tried on your own and it didn't work? How many times have you run, struggled, and worked hard, yet nothing seemed to move? That happens because some results are not in the natural realm. They are in the spiritual realm. There are doors that only the supernatural can open, and that is exactly what God is doing now. He is taking from your hands the weight of having to control everything and is assuming the lead role in your story. He is saying, "Leave it to me. It's not by your strength, it's by my power. It's not by your logic, it's by my promise." When God acts this way, the impossible becomes possible. The math doesn't make sense, yet it works. Connections happen without you begging. Opportunities knock at your door without you chasing them, because it is not your name that is at stake. It is His. What is at stake is not your name, it is His. And the most beautiful part is that when it happens, no one will be able to say it was luck, coincidence, or simply the result of your effort. It will be so evident that the only explanation will be, God did this. Now I want you to think about something very special. The transformation God is bringing into your life will not stop with you. It will overflow into your family. Perhaps today they look at you and don't believe what you are hearing here. Perhaps they laugh, criticize, or even say, "This is crazy. None of this will happen." But when God's hand moves, even the most skeptical cannot deny it. Imagine your family witnessing the change unfold before their eyes. Those same people who said you wouldn't succeed, whose predictions made your future seem like your past, will have to admit, God has done something in his life, in her life. It will be as if your own life becomes an open letter written by heaven itself, a living proof that God's promises never fail. And do you know what is even more powerful? This change will break cycles. If there were patterns of scarcity, frustration, or closed doors repeating generation after generation, they will now be interrupted. You will be the turning point for your family. What once seemed like a curse will now become a testimony. Think about the impact. Your children growing up in an environment of favor, abundance, and unshakable faith. Your parents, siblings, or relatives who didn't believe in miracles will begin to see that God truly acts. You will become a reference point within your household, someone who carries the mark of fulfilled promises. And maybe at first they won't understand, maybe they will question it, but over time there will be no denying it, because your life, transformed by God's hand, will speak louder than any words. This will unite hearts, restore relationships, and even open the way for those who didn't believe to begin experiencing the same favor. Now let's talk about something that changes absolutely everything: the supernatural favor of God. Unlike ordinary opportunities, this favor does not depend on luck or human effort. It is like an invisible force that opens doors no one can close, that positions you in places you never imagined, and that connects you with the right people at the exact right moment. Think with me. There are times when, even doing everything right, it feels like the world is against you. But when God's favor arrives, everything changes. What seemed difficult becomes simple. What seemed impossible becomes natural. It is as if the entire universe aligns in your favor. It is being repositioned in your favor simply because God said, "It is time to honor my chosen one." And it is not just about material blessings. Supernatural favor also touches your mind, your heart, and your decisions. It brings clarity, intuition, opportunities for growth, and protection against obstacles you may not even notice. It is He who transforms the environment around you. Places that once felt hostile become welcoming. Relationships that seemed doomed are restored. Doors that no one could open now swing wide. The most impressive part is that God's favor operates unexpectedly. It does not follow human patterns or wait for the perfect moment. It surprises. And when you start noticing these small victories happening in your life, you realize it is not coincidence, not luck. It is God moving heaven and earth to fulfill the promise He has already written over you. Here is the beauty of it all. While the world looks and questions, you walk with confidence, knowing the supernatural is at your side. Every step, every decision, every moment, everything is guided by God's favor, and no one can take it from you. Now, I want you to understand something essential. Until now, much may have seemed impossible, but God does not work within human limits. He is an expert in breaking barriers, in demolishing walls that seemed insurmountable. And when He decides to act, nothing can stand in the way of His promise. Think of all the limitations you have faced: financial, emotional, familial, or even spiritual. Perhaps you felt you didn't have enough resources, that your talent went unrecognized, that opportunities never came, or that doors remained closed. All of this is now being removed by the mighty hand of God. God has a unique way of turning obstacles into stepping stones. What once blocked you now becomes momentum to move forward. Every difficulty, every challenge, every moment of doubt that once felt overwhelming now becomes a testimony of God's power at work in your life. And the most impressive part, when God breaks these limitations, He not only opens paths, He changes your mindset, strengthens your faith, and redefines your vision for the future. You begin to see opportunities where once there was only impossibility. You start walking confidently, knowing that nothing can stop the purpose God has placed over you. So now, look at your life with new eyes. Every barrier that once seemed insurmountable, every fear, every doubt, everything is being removed so that you can live fully in favor, abundance, and divine blessing. The transformation God has prepared for you is here. The impossible becomes possible, and the supernatural manifests in every area of your life: health, relationships, peace, joy, and purpose. Abundance flows naturally. Resources appear, commitments are honored, and opportunities present themselves without effort. Your influence grows as others notice the change, and you become a channel of blessings and favor. This is not by chance, luck, or human effort. It is God moving heaven and earth. Every step you take aligns with His divine purpose, opening doors, multiplying blessings, and turning your dreams into reality. The supernatural transfer God has prepared is a tangible reality, ready for you to receive. Every prayer, every moment of waiting, and every challenge begins to connect, and the promise materializes before your eyes.